3 deaths related to COVID were reported today, the lowest in a week. And according to Health Ministry, 18 new clusters were detected, including 13 at workplaces. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah has rubbished claims on the substandard quality of the Sinovac vaccine. Citing published medical data on Sinovac, he said the China-made vaccine is as effective as the Pfizer vaccine against COVID-19. In a Facebook post, Dr. Nur Hisham said that on July 7th, the New England Journal of Medicine published a report on the Sinovac experience in Chile from February to May on 4.2 million fully vaccinated individuals compared to 5.5 million not vaccinated. And Sinovac was found to reduce COVID-19 infection by 65.9%, reduce hospitalization by 87.5%, reduce ICU admission by 90.3%, and reduce deaths by 86.3%. He said the Israeli Health Ministry had also pointed out recently that the Pfizer vaccine reduced infection by 64% against COVID-19, but was 93% effective against hospitalization and serious illness. Therefore, he said there is not much difference between the Sinovac and Pfizer vaccines in actual practical use, as both are effective at preventing severe disease and hospitalization, but less effective against mild or asymptomatic COVID-19. Anyone who has been proven to receive an empty syringe for their COVID-19 vaccine shot will be given a new injection. Health Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Adham Babas said they will be calling in those individuals again to receive their shots.
He was responding to several incidents at vaccination centres where individuals who recorded themselves during the vaccination process claimed they were given blank shots of the vaccine. The videos have since gone viral on social media. 3 incidents were acknowledged by the COVID-19 Immunisation Task Force involving a drive-through vaccination in Sungai Petani, Maitak and Bangi Avenue Convention Centre PPVs.
The Home Ministry has given the assurance that stern action will be taken against individuals who had violated SOPs while performing the Aidil Adha prayers in Penang this morning. Datuk Sri Hamzah Zainuddin said action will also be taken against those who organized the open area session.
He said the police have initiated investigations into the matter. According to Penang Police Chief Datuk Muhammad Shuhaili Muhammad Zain, some 200 foreigners were involved in the incident. The Immigration Department has also been told to deport foreigners who were involved. A video clip showing hundreds of individuals allegedly performing the Aidil Adha prayers in Taman Pelangi Juru went viral today. Meanwhile, Datuk Muhammad Shuhaili has apologized for not detecting the matter sooner.
So, dalam konteks yang berlaku hari ini, daripada sudut kepolisian, saya selaku Ketua Polis Pulau Pinang memohon maaf kepada semua rakyat Pulau Pinang akan kegagalan kami untuk mengesan benda ini dengan lebih awal.
Most COVID-19 vaccines have yet to be authorized for children, putting them among the unvaccinated who are at risk of infection. And with the Delta variant raging in most parts of the world, what are the risks to children and how do we better protect them? We speak to Pantai Hospital consultant, clinical immunologist and pediatrician Dr. Amir Hamzah.
The National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency has so far approved only the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine for use in children aged 12 years and above, but it has yet to be administered, pending approval from the Special Committee on COVID-19 Vaccine Supply Access Guarantee, following concerns over possible side effects and adverse reactions.
Let's do the adults first, because I think there's a priority for that. And at this point, if you look at the children, and when we had our discussion and meeting in the technical working group on the ICR, then we say that if you were to be vaccinated to children, this would be the ones who are at high risk, say example, having say cancer or chronic kidney disease, just like what it would be in the adult. And as far as where this age starts is still to be determined properly. but because there's also talks about opening the exam years, especially from 5 and 6, so that may be the consideration first. But the high risk should adolescent first. We should have our own data because there will be the next question: when should we give the second dose for these adolescent groups? And should the dose be modified as well? So these are the things that we have to look into and consider. And for now, we say that finish off the vaccination with the adults first.
Dr. Amir says children are better protected against the virus once more adults are vaccinated.
Yeah, once the adults are protected, I think we say that the children should be, because the numbers in general are not high. I mean, back to children, we don't have data on that yet. I'm talking, referring to the teenagers. In children, the clinical trials is ongoing, and they are doing it all the way down to 6 months to 11 years old. So I think the data should be coming up anytime soon. So we're not talking about children below 12 years old, because there isn't any. And for those that are adolescents, I've already mentioned that have the adults vaccinated first.
We'll take a short break. Stay with us. Welcome back. The pandemic has disrupted all aspects of life and fundamentally changed the way we work through rapid adoption of automation and technology. President of Malaysia Board of Technologists, Datuk Dr. Siti Hamisah Tafsir, says it is therefore crucial for Malaysia to ramp up investment in automation as COVID-19 accelerates the arrival of the future of work.
We need to automate those things that we have been doing manually. We need to automate them, and this will reduce our reliance on foreign workers. Automate meaning to say that most of the things that we do daily, even in our vaccination, we use a lot of this AI, we use our big data. Big data will allow us to make decisions based on information that we obtain. Before it was based on what we think and our experience, but now it's about big data.
She added that it is important to give emphasis on enhancing digital skills.
We are encouraging our local universities to come up with new programs, a different way of doing it. For example, in University of Malaysia Pahang, they conduct a program whereby the students spend the whole 4 years in the company that they are training with, instead of spending times in the university. With that, what we are saying is that it is hands-on program, but high-tech, which is similar to the German model, which we have been trying to emulate for quite a number of years. So we hope to attract more students to come in and join all this technology program, because there's a lot of hopes. Because, as if we are going to become a developed nation, we need to develop and also create our own technology instead of relying on others.
Short and thrilling. Jeff Bezos, the world's richest person, blasted off into space and landed back safely on Earth less than half an hour ago. The American billionaire lifted off from a site in West Texas, flew on a voyage lasting 10 minutes and 20 seconds to the edge of space, 9 days after British rival Richard Branson went to space. The Amazon founder flew in space in a New Shepard rocket built by his Blue Origin space tourism company. But unlike Branson's Virgin Galactic rocket, which required 2 pilots, the New Shepard is entirely automated. The flight returned back to Earth after 11 minutes carrying Jeff Bezos and his crew, including brother Mark Bezos, longtime Women in Space advocate Wally Funk, and 18-year-old Oliver Damon. 82-year-old Funk became the oldest person to go into space. Under a set of parachutes, the Blue Origin spacecraft returns to land.
Our astronaut crew and, of course, the friends and family of these incredible astronauts.
Singapore reimposed tightened COVID-19 restrictions after relaxing some measures just last week. This comes after several clusters linked to fishmongers and karaoke bar customers have emerged. Singapore reported 182 new locally transmitted infections today, with 135 cases linked to the Jurong Fishery Port cluster.
For 4 weeks starting Thursday, restaurant dining will be banned and social gatherings will be restricted to groups of 2. The Health Ministry said the return to tighter public health measures is required as COVID-19 infections are likely to rise sharply at the current rate of transmission. The ministry added it will review the measures in 2 weeks and adjust them based on the situation at that time. Given the surge in cases, Singapore's Transport Minister S. Iswaran said the much-delayed travel bubble between Singapore and Hong Kong will be subject to further review in late August. The scheme was first slated for last November but was postponed after a surge in cases in Hong Kong. It was pushed back to May 26 and derailed again when Singapore suffered an outbreak.
A minute of silence was held in Belgium today as the country holds a day of mourning for the victims of the devastating floods that left nearly 200 dead in Western Europe. Germany and Belgium suffered one of the worst flooding in history as floodwaters swept through towns and destroyed villages. At least 31 were killed in Belgium alone, with dozens still missing or unaccountable, while in Germany, 165 were killed and rescuers are still scouring the rubble for victims. Flags across Belgium were lowered to half-mast today. Similarly, European Union flags outside the European Commission's building in Brussels flew at half-mast in a move of solidarity for the victims of deadly flooding. While waters have subsided since Friday, workers and volunteers face a mammoth task to clear away the detritus and help local residents rebuild their shattered lives. The United States' largest active wildfire burned through more than 300,000 acres of forest in the state of Oregon. Thousands were evacuated as some 2,000 firefighters are tackling the so-called bootleg fire, one of the largest blazes in Oregon's history. It is one of more than 80 major fires raging across 13 U.S. states, spurred by heat waves and high winds. The bootleg fire in Oregon, named after nearby Bootleg Spring, forced at least 2,000 residents from mostly rural areas to abandon their homes. At least 160 homes and buildings have been destroyed so far. Temperatures are expected to be between 10 and 15 degrees Fahrenheit above normal, and the region is also experiencing a drought, which authorities warned could worsen in the days ahead. Can restoration efforts help save our natural ecosystems under threat from deforestation? Or will it be too little too late? Tonight on Consider This, we ask our guests if our well-designed policies are properly enforced. That is all we have for you on AWANI tonight. Get the latest news updates on COVID-19 and COVID-19 vaccines from astroawani.com and Astro AWANI app. On behalf of AWANI Tonight, we would like to wish you Selamat Hari Raya Aidil Adha. I'm Saraya Mia. We'll see you again.